Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Nuala and here you can find lots of journaling and planning content on my channel, and today we are going to do some weekly planner setups. I'm not sure if I've actually ever done planner setups for my weekly spreads on my YouTube before. I may have once or twice, but I can't recall. But anyway, I'm setting up a few weeks in the journal this week and I thought I could make this a little bit more regular to give you an idea of how I set up my weekly spreads. I have a tendency to go for very similar spreads, but as the weeks go on I will experiment and show you lots of different kinds that you can do to give you some ideas and inspiration for your own journals. So to begin with, I usually try to find what washi tape and weekly headers that I would like to use. I have my sticker book here that I have the majority of my functional stickers in, although I am in the process of trying to figure out a new way to organise them. As much as I like the sticker book, the problem I find is I'm getting new stickers here and there over time, and I don't know how much space to leave because obviously I just have to flick through this book. There's no way I can change the layout of the pages. So I have been considering getting a little binder folder with little ring binders to see if that helps my conundrum. But anyway, I have all my washies in a little drawer set sitting on my desk, so I've gone through, and today I've chosen for this week's spread is a washi tape from Swirlinyx, and it's like a cozy autumnal mushroomy style washi tape, which I really love. I'm pretty sure her shop has just gone on holiday mode for a little bit, but I will link her channel and stuff below for you to check out. But yeah, the first thing I do is I find whatever washi tape I would like to use. The thing I use my washi tape for the most is to layer for the headers in my journal. So I'll pick out my washi and then I section it off for the 7 days and layer it down, and then I will move on to putting my weekly headers on top of that. Like I was saying before, this layout that I have that I'm creating right now is a layout that I've been using very regularly. It is just the right amount of space for me. It's not too much and not too little. It means I can put maybe up to like 5 to-dos, maybe even more if I wanted to, each day, so I'm not overwhelming myself with things, but it's also not too little space where I can't fit, or too much where, I'm not using the pages very well. But I am starting to kind of think about different ways that I can use my spreads, because now I am doing that a little bit more with having the Patreon up and running. I just really need to make sure that the spreads that I'm creating have enough functionality to make sure that I'm keeping ahead of myself with my schedule. So I've been working on a little bit of a routine and some systems to put in place so that I don't kind of forget something important. So I've worked through my YouTube schedule and I've basically mapped out pretty much for the entire year what the videos are going to be. So I'm going to have a little bit of a schedule each month for how my videos come out, with a few kind of different ones in between. Just because I feel like it'll make it easier for me to follow, and also then it makes it a bit easier for anyone who watches to kind of know what to expect and what's coming each week. So that's where I'm at with the YouTube stuff. And then just the other day I had a big call with a friend of mine, the lovely Sandra. You've probably heard me mention her before. We talk a lot day to day just as friends. We've become very close friends, but we also talk a lot about business and help each other out. So we sat down and had a good big chat about Patreon, and I've mapped out everything, all of my tasks that I need to do each month for Patreon, and kind of the schedule that I want to follow during the month for how I want to post there. So that also then leads into how I want to schedule my week for work. So this is the spread that I've been going to the most, and over the next few weeks I'm going to be sort of test running a few different options. So you'll see those in some more videos in the future, but I am just experimenting a little bit with how I want things to be laid out, and that is really the benefit and bonus of having a bullet journal and being able to change things up so often. So you can just fit it with however your lifestyle is at the minute, whether that's personal life or work life, and that's kind of one of the main reasons I love bullet journaling. at this point you can see I'm decorating the top left corner of the spread. It's a spot that, I mean, you could use it for anything. Sometimes I use it for notes and things that I need to remember, appointments or things for the week after. But a lot of the time I will just make it decorative and have a little bit of fun with it, and that's kind of where I can get my little creative bit into the journal spread for the week. And I just have fun with it. I kind of change it up every time. Usually I have some sort of like background layer of paper, an image or a large sticker, just like a little tiny mini collage, and just have a little bit of fun with the journaling. And because this spread is something that I've been doing for a while now, it really doesn't take me any time at all. And that is something that I've benefited from whenever I've been very busy, and it means then I can still keep up with my journal without feeling the need to spend forever on it. I do still like to take my time with it when I can, because one of the main reasons I enjoy bullet journaling is because it feels like a mindful activity for me, so I don't want to rush it. But in the moments where I just don't have that much time, it is nice to be able to do a quicker spread and not have to worry too much about how long it's going to take. And next up, I like to outline the boxes just to give it to anchor the page a little bit more, so that I know where I can kind of list my to-dos for the day. So I just do it by hand. Sometimes I do it with a pen and a ruler, but most of the time I just hand do it. As you can see, it's kind of wobbly in some places, but I really don't mind. I've given up a lot of that perfectionism in my journal. It's something that it's taken a long time for me to not worry about so much, but I've got there. I mean, there's still times where I get frustrated if there's something that's gone wrong and I don't want it to, but it is the way that it is for now, and I'm glad I've gotten to the point where I don't feel like I need to be a perfectionist. The issue, as you can see here, me pointing out, is me realising that these markers that I got just not long before I did that journal spread, they bleed. I actually did a pen test in the back of this bullet journal and just didn't even think to look at the back of the page. I just wasn't thinking about bleeding in the book, because I've never really had that issue with this brand before, or with any kind of markers. I've never used this brand of markers before. It is the Colorista art markers, and I really, really love the colours of the markers. I find it so difficult to find those kind of earthy, kind of neutral tones, and I found these in TK Maxx and I absolutely loved them, and they weren't that expensive, so I went for it and got them. So I'm kind of bummed out that it bleeds through. Thankfully, the spread that I'm doing now will cover the majority of it up, but in the future, if I want to use the markers, I'm probably going to have to use them in a different way, where, you know, if I want to write a header or something like that, then I can put it on a different piece of paper and then stick it in. If I've layered papers and stuff, then maybe I can draw over the top, but doing it directly onto the paper doesn't look like it's going to work, which is unfortunate because I really love the colours, but it is what it is. This is another one of those tests of experimenting, you know, but anyway, on to the spread at hand. So this is the second and last of the spreads for this video this week. In the future I might do more. I'm still kind of experimenting with how I want to format these new videos, but you can let me know in the comments if you would rather see more of the weekly spreads for like the whole month, or if 2 is enough. So yeah, I would love to know in the comments. But back to the spread. This is a spread that I am working out as a tester for my Patreon kit. So on my Patreon you can get 2 versions of the kit. There's a mini one and then a large one. So this will be in the large one, and it is basically these little archways, and the theme is celestial, so the background's kind of galaxy themed and little stars and moons, and then it has like little check boxes for lists of to-dos each day. I know for me personally, whenever I'm doing work and things like that, the majority of what's in my journal is to-do lists, and appointments and stuff sometimes go in there at the top or the bottom, but I tend to just make lists. So I thought it would be a fun idea to create little archways that you could just cut out and stick in. You don't have to do any drawing, any sticking, apart from putting in the archways. Even if you have sticker paper, it would be even more handy, because these are printables that you print at home. So I thought it would be a fun way to kind of experiment with being able to do a weekly layout that still looks really nice and aesthetic, but it doesn't take you that long to actually set up. Like, the majority of the work is cutting and sticking, and like I said, if you print it onto sticker paper, then that takes even half the work off because you can cut it. And also, if you have a cutting machine at home, then you can always use that to cut them out as well. But I like how they've turned out. I'm going to see how it fares out with me using it to write in. I know some people have bigger handwriting and some people have smaller, so I need to kind of have a test run at writing it and using it for the week. So this is why I wanted to put it in as one of my spreads for the week, because I need to make sure it is actually functional. So here we are picking some washi tape for this spread. Like I said in the previous one, normally washi tape is what I pick first, but because of the way that I've done this spread with the printable, I'm picking it second, and it's proving a little bit difficult. I've realised that there's not really much in my spread that would have worked with it. I put this black one down first, and then I didn't really like how stark of a contrast it was. So I ended up switching it out for a different one, and I just tear it up. It did tear the paper a little bit, but not enough for it to make a difference because I was going to put more washi tape down anyway. I wanted something that accented the kind of purpley-ish, pinkish colour in those archways, but I just couldn't find anything that worked in my collection. The closest thing that I could get was this washi tape of my own that is more kind of like neutral browns, peaches, pinks, and I actually don't like how it turned out. I ended up leaving it there because I didn't want to tear up even more washi tape and waste it, but I would have preferred something a little bit more pinky purple toned. I think the black probably would have worked better in the long run, but I stuck with this one, and that's just how it turned out, and I'm just going to deal with it as much as I would prefer to change it. So I just flipped through then my sticker book to look for a die cut sticker to put over the top, something with a little bit more interest, just to make the little collage more interesting looking. Usually I try to find something a bit bigger to kind of fill the space. I think I ended up going with a large holographic sticker, if I am correct. We'll see in a second anyway. But yeah, I did find the collage aspect of this one a little bit more difficult because I was using colours that just didn't quite match up. Once I have my Patreon kit complete, I will have something in there so that if somebody does the same type of layout, they'll have something cohesive in colours and style and theme to fit with it. But I had to just go with what I have in my stash. It's kind of made me realise that I really don't have all that much in kind of a purpley, kind of darker tone. Although you saw that drawer of washi tapes that had lots of like darker toned colours in it. They were all very brown toned, one or two black ones, but I didn't gravitate towards them. So what that tells me is I need to have a look and see if there's any other washi tapes. I have been eyeing up washi tapes on is it notebook therapy, I think? I'm pretty sure it's notebook therapy, but I've been eyeing them up for ages and I really want to get a set or two, so I'm going to keep an eye on that, and maybe I'll have a little haul of some sorts in the future. So I will show you that if I do get some. But I mean, I have a good amount of washi for now, but I have a completely empty drawer here, so I'm just gonna have to fill it. Anyway, that is a few spreads for my January setup. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the future where I show my weekly spreads. And if you're interested in the Celestial Patreon kit, you can sign up in the link below anytime in January to grab one for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see more content like this. And as always, stay cozy. I will see you in the next one.